I really like it. There's a business strategy thinker and writer, Roger Martin. He talks about strategy. The essence of strategy as being two things: where to play and how to win. So I thought I'd tell you, this is where I want to play, as a strategist. Where do I think I want to be? Well, I think, and I think I saw this in a couple of presentations, I think I want to be in a place where I'm helping an organisation drive genuine, valuable, meaningful differentiation for customers. So helping an organisation understand what's going to make them special in their marketplace and making that happen. That for me is a really, really big thing. And I think I'm fairly new to that conversation in most of the organisations I talk to. So that's really one area. The second one is this idea of chasing the right numbers. I want to help organisations completely change the KPIs that they use. Because I don't know about you, I work with quite a number of organisations where they produce these incredible dashboards. I think, John, you talked about this yesterday. And it's not just data, these are dashboards. This is like someone's actually gone to the trouble of actually trying to roll up these numbers, and they create these incredible heat maps, sort of red, green, and amber about actually how the business is performing, and no one understands what is happening. They don't tell you anything about what's happening in the business for the customer, and no one knows what to do with them. And that's pretty tricky. I don't know how you get out of that unless you change the numbers. I had the great pleasure of having a chat to the European head of Uber. Does anyone use Uber here? I mean, I'm a big fan of it. Where he talked a lot about actually how they manage their business, how they go, how they go into countries. I don't know if you know about this, but when they decide to go into a city, they send a guy in there with a credit card, and that person's job is to go into the city, find out how the taxi industry works, go out with the local mafia, because actually the mafia is typically involved in sort of taxi industry in the city, and they work out how to actually establish themselves. And then basically, they really focus on one key metric when they go into a city. And does anyone know what that is? When he put the question to us, I said, well, I guess it might be about supply, so it might be number of taxis. Is it the number of drivers that you have that are on the road? And he said, no, actually what it is estimated time of arrival. When they set up in a city, what they do is they say, within a year, we want the estimated time of arrival at any given time, at any point within the central part of that city, to be less than 5 minutes. And then within 2 years, less than 2 minutes. Now, why is that an important metric? Because it's incredibly meaningful to me as a customer, but it's even more meaningful if you're a driver. If you go to the app, what's in the middle of the app? Right in the center of the screen, estimated time of arrival. So I think it's a really, really interesting idea when you think about what number is going to really push us to create a better service for our customers, but also be a really fantastic indicator of our business performance. The next thing, I guess the space that I'd like to be with organisations, and I don't exactly know what I'm going to do here, but is help create better organisational instincts. I've been working in experience strategy and planning for the last 5 years. 2 months ago, I got my first brief where the brief said, this is a cultural change, and what we're really trying to do is establish new instincts. We want our people to instinctively make better decisions. That's a pretty big thing. That's a pretty different brief to come in and give us a vision for what we're going to do. And I think it's really, really interesting, a really interesting idea here, because I think it leads on to the idea that a lot of the speakers have talked about this, is actually, I think some of us are going to have to get involved in this idea of leading cultural change. Because actually, no matter how good our ideas are, they're not going to really survive or thrive in organisations unless they match up with the organisation's culture and the way that they work and the way they think about things.